It feels like it was all good for the New York Knicks until it wasn't. After winning 8 straight games, the Knickerbockers have now lost 5 games in a row. And here with me to talk about the struggling Knicks is Alex Trataros, co-host of Knicks Fan TV. Alex, are you doing better than the Knicks are?
I think I'm doing better than the Knicks are. Dexter, thank you again for having me on. Back from Jamaica, got a little sun, rest and relaxation, but I'm ready to talk New York Knicks with you, man. How you been?
I've been good. Look, I'm better than the Knicks are right now with 5 straight losses. I'm glad you are doing well, too. So, Alex, the last time you and I spoke, it was great vibes around this team. Why are the Knicks struggling right now? Tell me.
Man, Dexter, I think it's a multitude of things that with the New York Knicks right now. It comes down to execution, coaching decisions, and it also comes down to injuries as well. I mean, we saw against the Raptors, the Chicago Bulls, it comes down to late game execution. You know, during the Mavericks loss, it comes down to coaching decisions on making sure that you're giving your players enough rest. And you're seeing the after effect against the San Antonio Spurs, where it looked like they had dead legs and didn't have the energy to get up for that game. And then it also comes down to injuries as well, as I mentioned. I mean, after beating the Golden State Warriors, they didn't have Quentin Grimes against the Toronto Raptors. I think he was crucial for he would have been crucial to winning that game. Also, you lose Mitchell Robinson in the fourth quarter due to a groin injury. Then you lose Jalen Brunson again and RJ Barrett against the Dallas Mavericks. And on top of that, Quentin Grimes comes back from injury against the Chicago Bulls, and he didn't look like himself yet. So I think all of that together, especially with the Spurs when you don't have all those guys too, has also been a big factor in why the Knicks are struggling right now.
It has been a struggle for the Knicks, and you mentioned the team being without Jalen Brunson. Over the past 2 games without Jalen Brunson, Immanuel Quickley, he's registered a career-high 15 assists against the Mavericks, and he had a career-best 36 points against the Spurs. I know that the outcomes were disappointing for Knicks fans, but have you been impressed with IQ's development here?
Absolutely. I love the way IQ has been coming along for the New York Knicks so far. Yeah, he struggled to start the season looking for his shot and just playmaking, because you want to see that from him, especially since he's a combo guard and the 6th man for this team. But I think what you're seeing right now from Immanuel Quickley is that he's comfortable in getting a lot of minutes. You're starting to see, as you pointed out, the 15 career high assists. You could see that he can be a playmaker for this team. Even earlier in the season when they played the Detroit Pistons, you saw that that he was able to rack up, I think, about 8 assists as well. We know he's a playmaker. We know he can do that. The thing is also, can be consistent with his shooting as well, and that comes in ebbs and flows that we've seen throughout the last 13 games, but including the Knicks going on their winning streak and so forth. You know, Quickly's been logging close to 30 minutes. He's shooting about 41% from the field. He's shooting about 37% from 3 right now. 86% from the free throw line, while grabbing 3 rebounds, close to 4 assists, all while averaging, was it right here? I got 13, close to 14 points right now. So you see that Quickley is not only a big factor to this team, but you see that he's able to contribute to winning when the team's healthy as well. Now, even though these were against losses, I still think that Immanuel Quickley is a big component for what the Knicks can do. And it's just, unfortunately, it hasn't fallen the Knicks' way. The question I have, though, is what are the New York Knicks going to do with Immanuel Quickley? Because as Fred Katz of The Athletic reported, that the Knicks are open and are taking calls for Immanuel Quickley. So do the Knicks still value Quickley as being a 6th man right now? Do they see him having a larger role? SNY's Ian Begley said Quickley was going to get a larger role. We're seeing that this season. But how do the Knicks value Immanuel Quickley right now? Do they think, there's reported that they're looking for a 1st-round pick in return for Immanuel Quickley. Is he worth more than that? Is he going to be a part of the team moving forward? Those are the questions I have surrounding the New York Knicks right now with Immanuel Quickley, but you have to be impressed with how he plays. I just want to see him be able to be a playmaker and a scorer and balance it all together, because we saw that towards the end of last season. Last year, after the All-Star break, Quickley averaged 16 points, over 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He was shooting 44% from the field, 38% from 3, had an 85 free throw percentage, all while doing that around 28 minutes per game. I want to see that balance from Immanuel Quickley right now, rather than just seeing the ebbs and flows of being either a playmaker one night or a scorer one night. I want to see both of that.
All right, Knicks fans would like to see that too, and I think one of the biggest things, Alex, is right now he's making shots, as you said, which we hadn't seen from him earlier in the season. Now, the Knicks have a New Year's Eve matchup against a team with the worst record in the Western Conference. That would be the Houston Rockets. So how important is it for them to stop the bleeding on Saturday night and get a win before 2022 is over?
Ooh, I think not only for you and I, Dexter, is this important just as Knicks fans, but I think for the New York Knicks, this is very important as well, because I think you want to make sure that this team still has a nucleus moving forward and that they're still together, and winning helps cures all of that. So after a heartbreaking loss against the Dallas Mavericks, after, not being able to get up against the San Antonio Spurs and another disappointing loss while being on this losing streak, I think it's very important to still win even while you're down RJ Barrett and Jalen Brunson. So for the Knicks right now, a win is very important just to get back on that winning streak and just to help compete in this tough Eastern Conference, right? As of right now, they're 8th in the Eastern Conference. We know after last season how disappointing it was. They're trying to make the playoffs this year, and every win counts. This team is still somewhere around being that play-in. If everything hits well, maybe they make the playoffs as a 6th seed, but they are going to need every single win possible if they don't want to be in the play-in. And if that's the goal for this season, and that's what the front office wants, and obviously the team, the players obviously want to win. That's what they're all about. If they want to do that, every game matters, and especially against a Houston Rockets team that's struggling this season. It looks like they're tanking. They're in the Wemby sweepstakes right now. The Knicks are going to have to take advantage of this, even being down some of their top players right now.
Yeah, the time is now. And Knicks fans, they want good vibes going into 2023. I know you want the same, Alex. We will see what happens with the Knicks down in H-Town on New Year's Eve. That is Alex Trataros of Knicks Fan TV. Alex, thank you for your time as always. And Happy New Year, man. Appreciate it.
Happy New Year to you as well, Dexter, and thank you for always having me on. I really appreciate this time.
Anytime, man.